just to get started, why do we care about cloud and DevOps? And as you all know, the cloud and DevOps technologies and tools are changing everything what we do today in the cloud with applications, how we scale applications, how we build applications, how we maintain them. And they are fantastic in terms of bringing development teams, operations teams together, streamlining processes, and most importantly, automating a lot of the software infrastructure to keep up with all the dynamics of running large-scale applications. And obviously, other benefits are we can deliver new features to users quickly and have applications continuously be evolving to meet different kinds of needs of users. And then all of that evolution can be done in a very stable environment. And people working in these applications or in the infrastructure side don't need to do some of the nitty-gritty, but they can focus on innovation and get on with things that are more fun. So cloud DevOps has really taken off. It's there everywhere, everybody's using it, but the learning curve is kind of a little hard. The reason is that there's so many tools and so many ways to do these things. In the ecosystem here, you can see this is just a sample. Students who are starting off, have a hard time, knowing where to go, what infrastructure is available for them to experiment with these, and again, what concepts are relevant. So the way we see it is this is an amazing journey for somebody who wants to get into this area, but it's a little bit harder to really get started because of all these issues of, what's the content, what is kind of the infrastructure I can try to run this on, get feedback, really know if you're learning and how you're making progress. So all of these challenges, are something we want to help students with through our project. The goals we have set aside is that we want to make this application inspired. So you can learn a lot of knobs and tools, technologies, but the idea is really that you need to be able to apply it in a real world context, in a real application. And how does that work? And that's where you appreciate really the learning of what the technology or the tool can offer, and you can actually go off and become a practitioner with those tools and technologies. So we want to really give that application context along with the tools and technology training. And we want to make it free. As I said, people have a hard time finding infrastructure, finding the right kind of exercises or a community or an ecosystem to go practice. And we want to have everybody have a chance to do this. And so we're able to do this with collaboration and funding from VMware. Really thank VMware for that support. And we're using a lot of NSF clouds and also public clouds that are given freely for education purposes, like the AWS Educate. So the hope is the lab exercise will give an exposure to a wide range of technologies that are related to cloud and DevOps, a wide range of platforms, and a wide range of applications. So that's our goal, is to really get that beginner experience in a very rich way to start learning all the advanced concepts. And last but not least, we want to have a platform where students, when they sign up, it's easy to sign up. So we can show you that just with a GitHub account, you're able to log in, enroll in a course, do the course, have a pre-assessment, post-assessment, and then you can see how you have learned, if you are really meeting the goals of the learning and how you stand in comparison with all your peers. And we have this platform so that you can have different instructors add new courses, and they can also track their students. So we've created a platform that helps everybody collaborate. Why did we go with application inspired? And as I said, the number of tools or the knobs in all of those tools are too many. And what the goal here is, we want to get students excited, especially those who are starting off with doing all these technologies in cloud and DevOps, to focus on the big picture and give them enough of a preparation so they can have the imagination, right? It's just not the technology ability that's important, like Eo Wilson says in this famous TED Talk, but it's really how they can imagine how these technologies fit into real world application context. So that's why we want to make it applications, but I think that's what makes us unique. these lab modules that span a number of interesting challenges today we have in Cloud and DevOps. So one of the challenges is how do we orchestrate containers for video processing? How do we do cloud networking for cyber defense? How do we bring edge and cloud infrastructures and federate them for trusted computing to do a lot of data processing? And also, if you're doing automation of data pipelines for knowledge discovery, how do we deploy these cloud and DevOps tools? So each of these challenges are kind of very relevant to many projects that are going on in our community today, and all of them represent a number of concepts that are underlying, right, with microservices and monitoring and creating clusters and apps across multiple clouds. So we want to basically provide exposure to some of these main concepts, hands-on exercises, but then show them how we can address real challenges we're facing today in all of these areas. The first one is about how to use Kubernetes, and it's in the context of an application which is a visual cloud computing app. And the second one is about software-defined networking with cyber defense. The third is KubeEdge with edge computing for a bioinformatics app. And the last one is continuous integration, continuous deploy CI/CD, which is an important concept for deploying code. We'll do it with Jenkins in the context of some data-intensive web apps. And in all of these, obviously, there are some prerequisites that we expect the students to have. And we're trying to make these available in as many cloud platforms as possible and as many variety. Obviously, the more variety we have, which makes us harder to manage students doing many of these cloud platforms. But we're trying to streamline most of the platforms, most of the exercise on the AWS platform. But we have actually the capability to deploy them on other open platforms or public cloud platforms. And so last part of what I want to say is, as I said, this is a very exciting new field. It's very vast. It's very, much rapidly growing and changing. And we think what we want to do is, inspire the students to get started in this, give them some infrastructure, give them some good resources, and help them set the application context. And it's not about all the knobs in these tools that we want to do, right? It's not about if you want to go on an adventure, you want to build a ship and you don't want to have people have only tasks and work, right? We want them to really enjoy this endless immensity of the sea. So we want to make sure that they get started in this journey of cloud and DevOps with our module.